Here's something most SEOs don't realize. Google doesn't index your content based on keywords anymore. It indexes entities: people, places, brands, and concepts. Keywords aren't dead, but they also won't cut it anymore either. So if you're still optimizing like it's 2015, you're leaving a lot on the table. So in this video, we're going to talk about semantic SEO and specifically 5 semantic moves to help Google and AI systems actually understand what your content is about, not just match keywords. First, map your entities and build your brand graph. Stop thinking of your website as just a bunch of pages. Think of it instead as a network of connected things: your brand, your products, your team, and your services. These are all entities, and your job is to show Google how they all connect using subject, predicate, object logic. For example, brand X offers product Y. That's your internal graph. It should mirror how your brand is understood in the real world and how it should appear in AI and search systems. Now you need to make this readable by machines. Add schema markup to your site. Put organization schema on your homepage, person schema for key team members, product schema for what you sell. And use same as properties linking to your profiles on LinkedIn, Wikipedia, Crunchbase, wherever you have a presence. Supplement with off-site signals like Wikidata entries, digital PR mentions, and consistent author entries. Why? Because when Google sees the same information about you across multiple trusted sources, it starts to see you as legitimate. You're not just another random website. You're a real entity in the web's knowledge system. And this isn't a one-time thing. Every time you launch something new, publish research, or get mentioned somewhere, update your schema and connect it back to your core graph. Over time, this creates semantic reinforcement, where your brand's meaning and expertise become machine recognizable. That's how you future-proof visibility, by not just building pages that rank, but an entity ecosystem that search and AI trust. Now, once you've got your core entities mapped out, the next question is, how do you actually organize your content around them? That's when pillar clustering comes in. Stop thinking in keywords and start thinking in entity coverage and topical depth. The goal isn't to create endless posts. It's to build structured content ecosystems around your brand's core entities. Pick 3 to 5 pillar topics that directly map your products, expertise, or value propositions. So yours might be semantic SEO, structured data, and AI visibility. Each pillar represents a high-level concept you want to own in the semantic space. Then for each pillar, write down all the smaller questions and subtopics people search for. These are your clusters. They should cover definitions, comparisons, how-tos, and FAQs. So basically, everything someone might want to know about that topic. The good news is you probably already have some of this content. So go through what you've got and label each piece. Which pillar does it support? Which cluster does it fit into? Then look for the gaps. Maybe you wrote, "What is schema?" but never wrote, "How to add schema to my site." Once you've got that mapped out, weave the clusters together with internal links. Every cluster article should link back to the main pillar page, and cluster articles should link together when it makes sense. So why does this work? Because from Google's perspective, these connections define relationships and build topical authority, which is a major factor in entity-first indexing. And for AI systems, it strengthens your brand's context graph, which means you're more likely to show up in AI-generated answers. You can set this whole thing up in 30 minutes with a simple spreadsheet. Pillar, cluster, what's missing, what URL covers it. That's it. You're not trying to write 100 articles. You're just organizing what you have and filling in the obvious gaps. And by maintaining a simple but deliberate cluster model, you're showing both crawlers and LLMs that your content comprehensively covers a topic, making it easier to surface, cite, and recommend. That's how you scale semantic relevance without drowning in content production. Okay, so you've mapped your entities and organized your content into structure. But here's the thing. If Google can't read and understand that structure, then none of it matters. That's where schema markup comes in. Experts argue whether schema still matters, but enough expert anecdotal evidence points to pages with robust schema appearing more in featured snippets and AI overviews. There are 3 types you should consider starting with: FAQ schema, how-to schema, and product or organization schema. FAQ schema goes on any page with questions and answers. If you've got a section where you answer common questions about your product or service, mark it up with FAQ schema. How-to schema is for instructions. If you're showing someone how to do something step by step, use how-to schema. It helps AI pull out those steps and show them in search results. Product or organization schema goes site-wide. It tells Google who you are as a company, what you sell, your pricing, availability, your reviews, and so on. These types of schema serve as your brand's connective tissue between human-readable content and machine understanding. They make your information explicit: what your brand does, what products or services you offer, and how you help users complete a task or answer a question. By adding them, you're building machine context or the foundation for visibility in AI overviews and generative search results. Now here's what to actually do with them. Find your best pages that fit into these categories. Then add the schema. Then test it with Google's rich results test tool to make sure it works. And, this is important, make sure the content you're marking up is actually visible on the page. Don't try to hide it in the code. Google will penalize you for that. If you want to take it a step up, you can combine these on the same page, like a tutorial that has both how-to schema and FAQ schema. Over time, this helps Google trust your content more and show it in more places. Think of it as structured storytelling for machines. Every tag, attribute, and relationship you defined strengthens how Google and AI systems understand and trust your brand. Now, schema tells Google what your content is, but there's another layer here: helping Google understand how your content guides users through different stages of intent. That's where FAQ blocks become really powerful. Most people just throw a few FAQs at the bottom of a page and call it a day. But that's not what we're doing here. Instead, use FAQ blocks as signposts throughout your content. An FAQ block is just 2 to 4 questions and answers that you drop into your page right when someone's thinking is about to shift. Here's an example. Let's say you're writing about what is semantic SEO. At some point, people stop wanting to learn what it is and start wanting to know how to actually do it. That's where you drop in an FAQ block with questions like, how do I add schema without coding? Or which schema types work best for AI overviews? This does 2 things. 1, it keeps people reading because you're answering their next question before they even ask it. 2, it helps Google and AI understand that your content covers multiple stages of someone's journey, not just one narrow thing. From a technical standpoint, mark up each FAQ block with FAQ page schema and test it with Google's tool. Keep your answers short, like 40 to 60 words max. Make them clear, factual, and keyword-rich without being repetitive. You can even reuse the same FAQ blocks across different pages if they make sense in multiple places. This reinforces your topical coverage. Think of FAQ blocks as road signs for both humans and machines. They help people navigate your content, and they help AI systems understand how all the pieces fit together. Okay, so at this point, you've defined your entities, organized your content, added schema, and placed FAQ blocks strategically. The final piece of the puzzle is making sure it all connects properly. And that comes down to how you're handling internal links. Stop thinking of internal links as a way to boost your rankings, and start thinking of them as a way to show Google how your ideas connect. Old school SEO would tell you to link with exact match keywords, like click to learn SEO, but that just reinforces word matching. What you want to do instead is link around entities, the actual topics and concepts. First, identify your core entities. Those pillars we talked about earlier: semantic SEO, schema markup, AI visibility, whatever your main topics were. Then, go through your content and find every time you mention those entities. Wherever you mention schema markup or semantic SEO or AI visibility, link to the best, most complete page you have about that subject. Use natural language. Instead of linking, click here, you'd link, schema markup, and a sentence like, learn how schema markup works. Every entity should have one main page it points to. That page becomes the authority on that topic for your site. Over time, this builds what's called an internal knowledge graph. It shows Google that your site isn't just a random collection of articles. It's an organized system of interconnected expertise. And when Google sees these patterns repeated across your site, it starts to see you as a real authority on these topics, which means better rankings, better visibility in AI systems, and more trust overall. Build a simple map that tracks which page represents each entity and how they all link together. This is how you turn your content into a self-reinforcing network of knowledge. Here's the thing. Everything we just went over isn't some experimental tactic. This is foundational to how search works today. Google and AI systems are looking for clear, structured information about entities and relationships. If you're still just optimizing for keywords, you're optimizing for a version of search that just doesn't exist anymore. So to start off, pick one semantic move from the list and implement it this week, just one. And let us know how it goes in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we deliver the most up-to-date and reliable information on all things SEO and PPC directly to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.